This weekend is AEW Revolution, and historically, Revolution has stolen the year as far as pay-per-views go because they are so good. Remember last year we had the Hollywood ending match between Mariah May and Toni Storm, absolutely fantastic match. We had Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay inside a steel cage. Does Will Ospreay return this weekend? I kind of think he does. We're going to improve the all-in tickets sales anyway. But yeah, no, this card is absolutely stacked. There's a lot of very good matches on this card. You're looking at the main event. The Texas Death Match is going to be phenomenal. Thekla and Statlander is going to be great. Bandido and Andrade could steal the show. There's lots of different stuff going on that could really make the show one of the best ones of the year, even though it is only March. But these are my predictions for AEW Revolution. So starting off on the 0 hour, which I don't normally do, but I am this time because it looks like a pretty decent 0 hour. We have the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal where Ricochet will be defending his national championship. And do I think Ricochet is going to walk out as champion? Unfortunately, I do not. I don't think he is going to walk out as champion. I think it's going to go one of two ways. So if Luchasaurus isn't in the match and he's not injured yet, I actually don't know what his status of injury is, whether he's just due back at any time or whether he's legit like out for a while. If Luchasaurus is out for a while, I think Jack Perry wins this Battle Royal and they continue their feud for with the national championship with Ricochet. They continue their feud on. If Luchasaurus is in it and he's going to be helping Jack Perry, then I feel like they're not going to win. But what I quite like to see is a Don Callis family member win it. So maybe like a Hechicero to get the win, or I can't remember, there's so many members of the Don Callis family, but just have someone from the Don Callis family win it instead so they have another belt within their ranks. But yeah, I feel like a Battle Royal is never going to be bad. They're very enjoyable in the moment, so I don't have any doubts that this is going to be a fun match to watch. But I think if I have to go with a legit prediction, I'm going to go with Jungle Boy Jack Perry to get the win here. Following that, the other match on the 0 hour. Apparently Big Boom AJ is going to have a match. I bloody hope not. But if he does, that'll be on the 0 hour. But we don't know who his opponent's going to be, so I can't predict it. But the other match that we definitely do know right now after last night's Dynamite is Layla Cross will be challenging Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Now, this is kind of a weird one because later on the main show, Willow and Harley are going to be defending the tag titles against Lana and Megan Bayne. So this is kind of like a first round of 2-round match. But yeah, I think Willow is quite simply going to retain here. I can't see her losing the title on the 0 hour. I feel like they'll make a bigger presence of her. I feel like if it was on the main show, there'd be a bigger risk. But the fact it's on the 0 hour, this just has her retaining written all over it. So I have no doubts about that. And then the next match I do will be the tag team title match. So next we have the Babes of Wrath, Willow and Harley taking on Lana Cross and Megan Bayne for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And this is a foregone conclusion for me, in my opinion. I feel like Lana Cross and Megan Bayne are going to get the win here. I think they're going to become the new Women's Tag Team Champions. And if you're interested, I do an article called The Weekly Retrospective on DKO Wrestling website that is linked in the description below. And yeah, I wrote in part one of my articles that I feel like Megan Bayne and Lana Cross have a big aesthetic as champions. So them becoming champions here and just going on an absolute tear of the women's tag division, I think will be a great storyline for them. Also brings more legitimacy back to Megan Bayne. I know that she's like a powerhouse as it is, but her booking hasn't been particularly great over the last few months. So I think giving her a championship here and finally giving her a championship in AEW will only help her progress up to like the top places in the singles division. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be a really good match as well. I think it's going to be a good win for the tag division. And yeah, I can't wait to see Megan Bayne as Lana Cross champions. Following that, we have a trios match where the Dogs, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors will be taking on the team of Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. Last night on Dynamite, we saw the return of Roderick Strong, and I couldn't really give a shit if I tried. I really am not a big Roderick Strong guy. I know there are some people that live and die by Roderick Strong, and which I say, fair enough to those people. But no, I am a big fan of the Dogs. I've someone who's been watching or been trying to watch a lot of New Japan over the last couple of years. I've become a very big fan of Gabe Kidd and David Finlay especially. So yeah, again, very happy to see these guys being all elite, let alone getting on this pay-per-view. Very much hoping that these guys at least have a match at All In so I can watch them live, because I do plan on going to All In. And yeah, no, for me, I'm going to go with the Dogs to get the win here. I know it makes a lot of sense, but I feel like Darby and Orange and Roderick can take a loss on pay-per-view, and it won't affect them too heavily, and I feel like we're setting up quite nicely for a one-on-one match between Darby Allin and David Finlay, which I feel like will be a great match for Dynasty. But yeah, no, for me, it just makes a lot of sense for the heels to get the big one on pay-per-view, and then have the babyface come back, maybe in a singles match or a couple of singles matches, maybe do Gabe Kidd and Orange Cassidy, David Finlay and Darby Allin, and then the babyfaces get the win there back again, and then we kind of continue from that point. I did expect to... I was going to say, but I did expect a stipulation, but they have made it a tornado tech match, so there's going to be no rules, which is only going to benefit the Dogs, because those guys are absolutely killers, but then and Darby Allin's going to kill himself, so... but no, for me, yeah, I'm going to go with the Dogs to get the win, maybe because Darby Allin just does something a little bit too mental. And yeah, but I expect the babyface to get the win back on a later date. Next up for the Trios Championships, we have the Don Callis family members of Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, and Mark Davis taking on the team of Mystico and Jet Speed, or Mystico, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And yeah, for me, it makes a lot of sense to just keep the titles on the Don Callis family. The thing that's annoying me a little bit is the fact that Okada just isn't defending the International Championship. I feel like they have to get that. I thought they were going to have him defend it here against somebody, and then they would take the title off him at Revolution, but that's simply not been the case. Instead, they've actually given him a championship, which I was very surprised about. But no, I feel like the Don Callis family are going to keep the Trio Championships. It makes a lot of sense that like they keep those ones, and maybe... I mean, I can't see Kyle Fletcher losing the TNT title anytime soon. But yeah, genuinely want Okada to lose that International Championship so it can start being defended regularly again and become the championship it once was before when it was prestigious. But yeah, for me, very simple. Just I can't see also them giving a title to Mystico when he's like barely ever around. So yeah, for me, it's going to be the Don Callis family to keep the Trios Championships. After that, we have Marina Shafir taking on Timeless Tony Storm, and yeah, everyone is banned from ringside. For me, I feel like Marina Shafir is going to get a win here. I know that, like, I'm kind of a two-head here. This is actually one of the harder matches to predict because it could genuinely go either way, and I don't think the other woman will be affected by the loss. But I feel like, you know, if Toni Storm does want to go back into the women's championship scene, I feel like whether she wins or loses, she can do that, and it won't really be seen as any, like, it won't be seen as, or looked bad upon, if you will. Whereas Marina Shafir gets a win over a former and like one of the best women's champions, and that really establishes her as one of the more dominant parts of the women's division. So I'm going to go with Marina Shafir to get a win here, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Toni Storm got the win because she is Toni Storm after all, and you know, if they want to put her back in the main event scene, they're going to have her win more bigger matches. But yeah, I'm going to go with Marina Shafir to get the win, but I'm pretty undecided on this one. After that, we have like a match that should be absolutely amazing. We have Bandido taking on Andrade El Idolo in a match I am so looking forward to. And to be fair, even on Collision on Saturday, Andrade is facing Mascara Dorado, which is going to be an absolutely fantastic match as well. But yeah, I've been loving this kind of career renaissance of Andrade El Idolo, that he's finally getting pushed in good positions. Hopefully this keeps up and we kind of see it more consistently going forward. But no, this match with Bandido should be brilliant. Bandido is arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. Andrade is fantastic in the ring. There's literally no way this can be a bad match. So yeah, very much looking forward to this one. As far as my predictions go, I'm going to go with Andrade to get the win. I feel like Bandido, because he's been away for a while, he can afford to take a loss and it won't hurt him too much. But it wouldn't surprise me if Bandido started getting a lot of wins back and going more towards a championship soon. Maybe he would be a good challenger for Okada to take the International Championship from him. I would love that. But yeah, no, for me, I'm going to go with them keeping momentum up with Andrade and having him get the win here. Following that, we have the partner of Bandido. We have Brody King taking on Swerve Strickland in a match I'm very surprised doesn't have a stipulation added to it. Or maybe they're going to have a rematch down the road and that'll have a stipulation on it. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be a fantastic match. We have like the quick and speed of Swerve Strickland, and you've got the powerful, heavy-hitting parts of Brody King. And yeah, I can't imagine this is going to be a terrible match either. I feel like this is going to be just as good as Andrade and Bandido, but in a different style of way. But for me, I'm going to go with Swerve to get the win. It makes a lot of sense that Swerve kind of, again, like Andrade, starts building momentum back towards the World Championship once again. And yeah, this starts here with a win over Brody King. I have liked the character work that Swerve's been doing. I know that people kind of have him down as, oh, he's full-blown heel now, but Swerve is never a full-blown heel or a full-blown babyface. He's always like, depending on what the feud that he's in needs, he'll be each, like, whichever party needs to be babyface or heel. But yeah, no, the push of Brody King also has been fantastic to watch. The fact that he beat MJF in like a minute and a half was like fantastic. So yeah, both men are in absolutely fantastic positions going forward. I don't think a winner or loss here will affect them massively going forward. But yeah, for me, I'm going to go with the more predictable answer, which is Swerve getting the win here. After that, in the never-ending rivalry of the tag team division, we have FTR defending the tag team championships against the Young Bucks, and a match that I'm sure will be fine. I mean, I'm sure you can't really have a bad match, but the issue is that some of their matches have been so good that the good matches then just become okay, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I hope they absolutely blow the house down and it becomes one of the matches of the night, but I feel like these two are so familiar with each other that it ends up just being okay because the quality of the previous ones are so good. So, yeah, not great. I would have preferred if the Rascals got added to this and it was a triple threat, because then it was a case of like they added different elements to the match, so which would have been much better in my opinion. But it's fine, 2-on-2, absolutely fine. As far as results go, I think FTR are going to come out as champions. I don't think they're going to take the titles off them for a while. I don't think they're going to lose them to the Young Bucks of all the teams to lose them to. So yeah, very simple. I mean, I have very little interest in this one because I am fed up of the FTR and Young Bucks matches all the time, but yeah, they say it'll be fine. It's like, I can't imagine it's going to be a bad match. It's just a case of I just have very little interest in it because it's absolutely done all over the place. So, yeah, for me, I'm going to go with FTR to get the win, but hopefully they kind of move away from the Young Bucks after this. Next up, we have the 2 out of 3 falls match between Chris Statlander taking on Thekla for the Women's World Championship. And this, I feel like, is going to be a banger of a match. I feel like we've had the extreme parts of this match. We've had the regular singles match. And now they're going to let these two go out there and cook as far as wrestling goes. But as far as the winner goes, I'm actually going to back Chris Statlander to get the win here. I feel like, Thekla is a okay champion. I feel like I don't know, there's just something about it that isn't clicking for me, as like it doesn't feel like a world championship reign. This is why I would have actually preferred her being TBS champion. But I feel like Chris Statlander being a 2-time world champion, and then if Toni Storm's back into the picture, we can have a rematch of the match from one of the pay-per-views last year. Wrestle Dream. We're going to have a rematch from Wrestle Dream, which I was very much a fan of. I do like when Chris Statlander is in the ring with likes of Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, and people like that. So, yeah, I think they're going to give the title back to Chris Statlander, and a bit of a, like, I don't want to call it a hot potato, because that seems a little bit harsh. Thekla has defended the title against Thunder Rosa. So, but yeah, for me, I just can't help but feel like Statlander's going to get the win here and get the title back in just a pure wrestling match. Not pure as in Ring of Honor pure, but just a pure fantastic wrestling match. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. Following that, we have Jon Moxley defending the Continental Championship against Konosuke Takeshita in a match that will have no time limits. Now, that's a big detail, because I'm not going to lie to you, I fully expect this to go 60 minutes. Or maybe even 60 minutes plus. I can't imagine. It's going to be a long match. I'm telling you right now. Get your popcorn ready. Get your drinks ready. Get your snacks. It is going to be a long one. It wouldn't shock me if this opened the show, because it's going to go so bloody long. But no, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. I have this to probably be the second best match of the night, because, I mean, as you guys know, I love extreme matches. So I think the main event is going to be match of the night. But as far as, like, out-and-out wrestling, just pro wrestling at its finest, this is where it's going to be, and it's going to be a fantastic match. As far as the winner goes, I think, like I predicted at Grand Slam, I think Takeshita gets the win here and becomes Continental Champion. Everything for me makes sense that Konosuke Takeshita walks out as Continental Champion. I would have had it like a month ago or a month and a half ago, whenever Grand Slam was. But yeah, for me, if we're going to do out-and-out wrestling, Moxley putting over Takeshita in this kind of way massively helps Takeshita as far as like just overall career stuff goes. So yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Takeshita to get the win. I'm going to feel like an idiot if I backed against Moxley again. Because my issue is, and this happened at NXT Vengeance Day, I'm backing people who I don't have the personal preference to. So out of these two, as much as I love Takeshita, I very much prefer Moxley. And then I bet against them, and then they win. So I'm hoping that's not the case here. But yeah, I'm going to go with Takeshita to get the win here over Jon Moxley. And finally, in what is undoubtedly the main event, we have MJF defending the World Heavyweight Champ, well, the AEW World Championship against Hangman Adam Page in Texas Death. With the caveat that if Hangman loses this match, he can never, ever, 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 ever challenge for the AEW World Championship again. Now, this is massively interesting because I cannot see MJF losing the title this quickly. Like, he only won it at World's End back in December. and it's only March, and like having only a probably not even 4 month reign with the title just doesn't sit right with me as far as MJF goes. It makes sense that he holds the belt for a very long time, but can I see Hangman Adam Page never challenging for the AEW World Championship ever again? Yes and no. So I'm very conflicted as far as this one goes. This will have my full-blown attention on it because I have no idea where it goes. And it's a Texas Death Match, which I absolutely love Texas Death Matches. So everything about this just screams it's going to be absolutely cinema. So, as far as the result goes, I think MJF is winning, which isn't great because it means that Hangman Adam Page is being pretty much sent to the upper mid-card to mid-card for life, which isn't terrible. Hangman is a fantastic wrestler and can feud with anybody. And the people that think that if he loses this match, he immediately goes to WWE is ridiculous. You know, the good thing about AEW is there's so many different championships that he doesn't need to be in the World Title reign all the time, or World Title scene all the time. You know, he could quite easily be one of the greatest international champions, one of the greatest continental champions, go back into the trios title division with Jet Speed, which I don't particularly want, but he could do that. There's plenty of places for Hangman to stay in the main event, feud with the top talent on AEW, and still not challenge for the World Championship in the end. But I don't know, maybe he turns heel again and he just challenges again and people just hate him for it, and maybe that's fine. That's what they should have done with Cody, really. But yeah, no, for me, I say, I'm going to go on record and say that MJF is going to win this match. Would it shock me if Hangman won? No. Would I be disappointed if Hangman won? Kind of, I'm not going to lie, because I wanted a long MJF reign. Now, if they do like Hangman wins it back and then MJF wins it back at like Dynasty, then fair enough. But I think whoever wins this match faces Kenny Omega at Dynasty. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one. I'm very surprised they've like made it such a big match. But yeah, no, for me, I'm gonna go with MJF, which feels like a risk somehow, picking MJF to win a match. But yeah, I can't wait for this match. As I said, it is gonna be absolute cinema. So those are my predictions for AEW Revolution. Do put down in the comments below what you think is going to happen at Revolution. I'm very curious to see what people have got for the main event especially. But the card looks very, very good, to be fair. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Sunday night when I get to sit and watch this. And we will go through it on Tuesday, not Monday. I know my reviews are normally on Monday, but it's going to be on Tuesday because it's a Sunday pay-per-view. It gives me a day to kind of get the recording done and re-watch the event and write my notes on it and all that kind of stuff. So do forgive me on that one, but it will be on Tuesday as far as the review goes. As far as other stuff on the channel, there is lots of stuff coming up on the channel. There's the retrospective documentary series thing where I've gone through WWE in 2001, 2002, and 2003 is coming up, I believe, this week, next week. This weekend is my NXT Standard Level card I'd like to see already on the channel. There is my WrestleMania card I'd like to see. Do go and check that one out. It will be linked at the end of the video as a link, so do go and watch that. I think I've cooked on this card, you know. But yes, do subscribe for those videos and make sure that you're notified when they upload. And yeah, do like the video if you enjoyed it. I'd say do comment below what you think is going to happen on Revolution. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.